Good morning. My name is Cam Scales. My pronouns are she and her. Thank you. And on behalf of the congregation, we want to welcome you all to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. We acknowledge that we are on traditional tribal territory of native tribes. Whether you've joined us through our live stream or you're here in our sanctuary, we are very glad to have you with us in the sacred time we choose to be together. We are an open community of learning, caring, and justice-making. You are welcome here, every part of you, just the way you are. Our congregation is served by our minister, the Reverend Jamie Dingus. She is available by contacting the church office for pastoral care and to answer questions about Unitarian Universalism. If you're a newcomer, please sign our guest book back in the foyer to receive our weekly email newsletter. Please also take a moment to please silence your electronic devices at this time. If you have a joy or sorrow or important milestone that you would like shared during our circle of candles and included in the pastoral prayer, please write it on one of these white cards in the pew in front of you and place it in the offering basket. For community news and events, check our email newsletter, Facebook page, and website. Also, we have additional announcements in the insert in your order of service today, so be sure to check that out as well. After our service, everyone has a special invitation today to join us in the fellowship hall for conversation, coffee, and snacks, and a potluck. Yay! There's always plenty of delicious food, so if you forgot today or a newcomer and didn't know to bring food, no worries at all. There's always plenty, so we'd be delighted to have you join us. Now I would like to invite Saoirse and Anna forward to ring the singing bowl to help us enter into the service more deeply. Very nice. Thank you very much. Good job. Finally, having gathered in a shared quest for truth, meaning, and purpose, let us light our chalice with these words from Rachel Hayes. We light our chalice this morning with our hearts turned to the work of our congregation. We have inherited this institution from many generations of people who believed in the power of human beings to bear love into the world. We carry this tradition for those who find comfort, inspiration, and joy within its real and virtual spaces. We tend to the spark of imagination and hope for the world to come. And now let us enter into this morning's service more deeply with music for centering, followed by our thread song, hymn number 359.
Good morning, friends. Let's try that again. Good morning, friends. Good morning. That's what I like to hear. Welcome in. My name is Reverend Jamie. My pronouns are she and her, and I have the best job in the world serving you as the minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. I am so glad that you chose to spend your drizzly Sunday here with us in this space of love and connection. Just a reminder, children and youth are invited to stay in and participate in the entirety of this service. We'll have different moments of activity and fun throughout. There's also activity bags in the back with Miss Kristen if you want those, and our nursery is always open if you're feeling too wiggly to be in here. That's all fine. However you want to be with us, you are welcome. Let's center into this service now more deeply with these words from the Reverend Julian Soto. All that we are, together and individually, is part of the abundance of the universe. We are made of stars. We are made of earth. All that we have comes from earth, from the labor of those in our communities, from the cities and farms, oceans that enliven us, the world and those who live in it. We are surrounded by blessing, by grace, by possibilities. We are reflected in every human being. We respect and honor one another's differences. We celebrate our interbeing with abundance and the practice of generosity. In that spirit, let us worship together. And as we begin, I'd like to invite forward UUCH leader Matthew Bollinger to share a testimonial to start our season of giving.
Good morning. My name is Matthew Bollinger. My pronouns are he and him, and I am your Technology Committee Chair. For those who don't know, Technology Committee is responsible for making sure the audio is clear and good, like it is, and making sure our video is also good, and any other computers in the church that we've been tasked to deal with, such as a TV that's in the fellowship hall. I've been asked to speak to you about who I am and what the church has done for me. As some of you already know, I've been attending the church since I was in the nursery, and a voting member since I was old enough to be one. The UUCH has provided me two very important things. It has provided me the first one is CYRE, the program, that has provided a safe and responsible way to learn about all religions and help me understand how other faiths see the world. The second thing, and what I spend most of my time doing now, is the Technology Committee. I don't attend church for the service like most people. I'm too ADHD for that. I can't pay attention that long. However, I'm able to use my knowledge, which I love doing, and experience to better the service and for the betterment of others. I'm a software engineer for a living, and there's surprisingly little of that out in the real world. Here at UUCH, I get to show not just others, but myself, that I'm a good leader, and all because the church, you guys, believed in me. While most weeks I'm up in the area I lovingly refer to as the tech loft, I get to do what I enjoy in a meaningful way. I also get to help steer the ship in a way that I know is in a good direction, such as an upcoming shift from Zoom to YouTube that you're going to hear a lot more about in the following months. Whether it's helping move technology forward, or cleaning up trash with the council for Project Green Team, or going to protests for causes I enjoy and have meaningful impacts on the world, the church supports my needs and personal growth. So I know I'm also responsible for its growth. And the way to do that is with my and your pledges. Thank you.
Matthew, so much for kicking off our pledge drive this morning and sharing what a beautiful testimonial. Now I'd invite us into a time of singing. Our opening hymn is number 323 in that gray hymnal. It's called Break Not the Circle. May we always strive to grow the circle of love wider and wider until it includes all people. Please rise in body or in spirit to sing together 323. Each week following that first hymn, we remain risen in body and spirit to sing our doxology and speak in unison our words of aspiration, which are on those laminated blue cards in the pewbacks in front of you. And we get to the words of aspiration, it is our practice to turn and face one another and speak those as words of promise in our community. Let's sing. May the quest for truth be its sacrament, and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. You may be seated. And now I'd like to invite our children and youth to come on forward for our story for all ages. Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to see you guys today. How are you doing? We got some thumbs, we've got some middlings. It's okay. However you show up this morning, you are so welcome here. Now today in our service, one of the things we're going to talk about is money. What does money mean to you? Money is for keeping your house, buying food, and buying toys. Perfect. Great answer. AJ, what do you think? Yep. Money is a trading value and how you buy things and pay your taxes. Vane, what do you think? Food is nice, which means money is also nice. Perfect. Correct. So in our community, each year we raise money so that we can fund our church and so that we can all come together on Sundays and spend time with each other, and we can do projects and activities and have chili cook-offs and Halloween parties and all the fun things we do throughout the year. And we raise money so that we can help other people, right? Because our values teach us that it's important to help other people and situations that need help, right? Do you remember last year when I gave you an envelope that had money in it? Does anyone remember that? How about grown-ups? Anybody remember that? Yep. And does anyone remember what they did with the money they had in their envelope? What did you do, Saoirse? Okay, so in your house, you have to do chores, and then you can have money for toys. That makes sense. Vane, what did you use the money that I gave you for?
I donated it to the
Trevor Project. Love it. No, I remember last year we had people who donated to animal shelters and the Trevor Project. We had someone, I think, who saw someone who was having a hard day at the grocery store and gave them a little money to make their day better. I know, Melody, you did something pretty cool with your money, right? Do you mind sharing? Honeybees in Uganda. So our money can go in all sorts of different places to make a real impact. So this year, I thought it was so much fun last year, why not do it again? But I have another fun lesson for you, maybe not so fun lesson. So who here has heard a grown-up in their life complaining about how expensive the grocery store is? Right? Who in here is a grown-up who's complained about how expensive the grocery store is? So one of the reasons why the grocery store is so expensive right now is this concept called inflation, where things get more and more and more expensive, and yet people's wages, what they get paid for their jobs, doesn't go up as fast to meet it. So it causes real trouble when you're trying to support your family and make things work. And I wanted to give you an example so you could see how things changed over time. Do any of you like to have milk on your cereal? Or with breakfast, or like to drink milk with your coffee, maybe? I know I'm more of an oat milk girly, but we're gonna use regular milk as our example today. So right now, if you went to the grocery store, how much do you think a gallon of milk costs? $50. Not $50. That's a cool answer, though. What did you say, Lewis? $5.68, something like that. What do you think, AJ? You guys are... I am so glad we don't live in that world y'all are describing. So right now, a gallon of milk's like, around $4.20, $4.50, something like that, depending on where you shop. But it used to cost less. So I looked up what milk used to cost in different time periods. And so when my parents were born in 1960 and 1961, and a gallon of milk cost $1. Right? Crazy. Can you believe that? And when I was born, like 30 years later, a gallon of milk cost $2.50. And then when y'all were born, what years were you all born? 2009, 2010. What year? What year were you born? 2012. Yeah, so I was looking in the 2010 to 2019 range, depending on how old you are. And milk back then, when y'all were born, is about $3.50. But if you're looking at the difference between 2009, 2010, 2015 to right now, and we've added another $1, that's going up faster and faster and faster each year. Do we see that? Does that make sense? It's okay. We'll talk about it again, don't worry. And the reason why I wanted to explain that to you is because we know that we're living in a time of really rampant inflation. That's why our grown-ups talk about the grocery store being expensive. And so I thought I would do some positive inflations. Would you like to have an envelope? This year we have $20 in our envelopes. Last year we did $15. And I'm hoping that with an inflation in your envelope, you can do even more good in our community. Oh, sorry. All right, everybody got an envelope? Anybody else want an envelope to do $20 worth of good with? I see Gail. All right. Here's one for Peyton. All right. You want an envelope? You want an envelope? Heck yeah, you want an envelope? You want one, Torin? Awesome, awesome. Darlene, there you go. All right. And here are the rules for these envelopes. The idea is that you are helping someone or some place or some situation in need. So you can donate to an organization. You can see someone who's having a tough time and help them. And if you know that your family is having a tough time and that $20 would make a difference, you can give this envelope as a gift to your grown-up to make the week a little bit easier. And all of those are good ways to live your values. What's your question? Yes. What a generous idea, AJ. So if you want to add your own money to this $20 that I'm giving you, go ahead and do that. What's your question? Yeah, so you could help a family that was in need. You could help an animal that was in need. You could help an organization that's doing good work. Anything you want, as long as you feel like you are being generous, practicing gratitude and generosity, and helping our community. That is a good thing to do. And I would like, if you are willing, to think about what you're going to do with this money, and then once you've done something with the money, this counts for all of you, tell me or Miss Kristen in the next few weeks, and we'll report back to the congregation on all the different beautiful places this money went to support people. You all are capable of making our world a better place, and I thank you for doing that with this small gift this week. So you can go back to your seats because we're going to all be together in worship, but thank you for coming up for our story.
UU's mission is that our inspirational, challenging, and diverse ministries will foster lifelong spiritual seeking and growth, strengthen the bonds of our community, support strong social justice action, welcome diversity, and let people know we are here. If you would like to support us with a monetary donation, we would be very grateful. Your generosity helps us to keep the lights and air conditioning on, maintain our building and grounds, run our various ministries, pay our staff a fair wage, and support organizations that share our UU values. You can donate online using the QR code on your order of service, or you can put cash or check donations in the offering baskets. Completed Circle of Candles cards, like these, should also be placed in the offering baskets at this time. You're invited also to come forward during this time and quietly drop a stone into the bowl of water next to the ramp here in honor or in memory of what you hold in your heart. It is through your generosity that we continue to serve our mission here at UUCH. With gratitude, we now receive the offering.
Friends, will you join me now for a time of meditation, reflection, and prayer? Spirit of all moving among us, great mystery of love, bending our world ever toward justice, be with us in this time of prayer. Our lives have joys so bright they must be shared in community. The Warrington family lifts up in joy that they are so happy and grateful that Vane has returned home from California. We love you, friend. So glad you're back with us. And our lives have sorrows too heavy to hold alone. We continue to hold in our hearts the people of Gaza and all that are experiencing violence and suffering. We hold you in our hearts. And our lives are filled with those mixed blessings, joys and sorrows bundled up with one another. I share from Fran Alexander, both a joy and a sorrow. Fran writes, I have been a member of this church for 43 years. The first day I walked into UUCH on the mountain, I was met with open arms and open hearts. It was where I met Marty and married, and after his death, his memorial service was held. So many memories, inspiring services, musicals, chili cook-offs, and more. Daughter Michelle attended RE for many years. Grandson, sweet baby James, was dedicated in this building. And it is with sad and happy feelings that I tell you that I will be moving at the end of March to Daphne, Alabama, to be closer to family. Thank you for all your love and friendship. I will forever keep you all in my heart. Thank you for this beautiful message, Fran. We will hold you in our heart and wish you all the best in this new journey of life. Together, we honor what has been shared. We hold each other in this sharing. We claim that love and compassion is what knits us together in beloved community. For all this and all that remains silent and unspoken in our hearts, may we say, blessed be and amen. And sing responsively Meditation on Breathing, number 1009 in your teal hymnal. I'd like to invite us all into a time of embodied meditation with these words adapted from former UUA President Reverend Susan Frederick Gray. And I'd invite you to find a comfortable position, and I mean that. So that could be standing. Stand if you feel good about that. Sit. If you've got enough space in your pew, you could sprawl out and lay down if you wanted. Put your body in a place that feels good. Thank you for taking that invitation seriously. I appreciate it. And if you'll join me with your arms, if you feel called to do so, stretch up and stretch down and stretch wide and open yourself up for this time of meditation. Take a few relaxing breaths. And if you'd like to close your eyes, do so. And if you'd rather not, don't. Keep breathing. Pay attention to your body. Is there a place of tension or pain? Imagine breathing your breath into that place. Breathing in, expand your attention towards that tension. Breathe out, let that tension go. Now bring your attention to your heart. Place a gentle hand on your heart if you feel called to. Be aware of anything you're feeling. Are you feeling joy or calm or peace? Are you feeling sadness, grief, anxiety? Just be aware of it. Breathe alongside that feeling. Offer yourself compassion for whatever is coming up in you in this moment. As you continue to breathe, ask yourself if there's anything or anyone you are feeling particularly grateful for in this moment. What or who are you grateful for? Is there anyone who is caring for you, showing you love, inspiring you, comforting you, that you're grateful for? Hold that person in your heart. Visualize them. Hold them in gratitude. Keep breathing in and out. Gratitude for those you love. Let your hands fall open. Imagining opening your heart wide to people, places, community that you feel grateful for. Breathe in that feeling of gratitude. Breathe in, imagining those people, those places, those connections. Breathe out that gratitude, sharing it with the world. And as you keep breathing, take a moment to hold in your attention this congregation, these people, these relationships, moments of service and inspiration, gifts and places you are grateful for. Bring it all to your attention. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe out gratitude. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe out gratitude. As you are ready, bring your attention back to this time and this place, to your body, to this gathered community. Stretch your arms open once more, open to share the love and gratitude we have gathered in this time. And now bring your arms towards you. As we close, let us speak aloud or in our hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for these gifts and this time of generosity and connection. Blessed be and amen. And you may come back to this room and open your eyes and continue to sit and stand or lay down however you like. Because I have a story to tell you. Is anyone feeling in the mood for a story? Love that. Love that energy. This story is about a tree. Help me imagine this tree. This tree is tall. It would not fit in our building. Its arms reach wide out into our community. The tree stood in the middle of the village. Its trunk was so large that it took 6 people holding hands to reach all the way around it. The roots were strong and wide, and the branches spread out all over the village square, offering shelter from the rain, shade from the summer sun. And this tree had fruits, juicy, sweet, and plentiful. The people of the village loved the tree. Children played beneath it and climbed its lowest branches. Young people knew that if they whispered their dreams to the tree, those dreams were more likely to come true. People who proclaimed their love or their friendship for one another beneath its branches found their relationships to be nourishing, and elders discovered that their sweetest memories could be counted on when they were near the great tree. The tree had been witness to so much, and when the breezes blew through the leaves, you could hear the echoes of generations. Laughter, conversation, dreams, prayers. Shh. Do you hear it? Animals loved the tree too. Rabbits lived in burrows under the roots, squirrels and monkeys lived in the branches, and bats and birds flew by to eat the abundant fruit. The tree seemed to buzz with life. One day, a traveling merchant arrived at the village, and he rested in the shade of this magnificent tree and ate a few pieces of the delicious fruit. "This fruit is incredible," he said. "I'd like to have some to sell in the next village I visit." "Who owns this tree?" he asked. "No one owns this tree," replied a villager. "If anything, we belong to it." "Well, then, if no one owns the tree, then no one will mind if I pick the fruit," said the merchant, and he began to fill his basket. "I mind," said the villager, "and today I am the keeper of the tree." "What do you mean, the keeper of the tree?" the merchant asked. "You see, in our community," the villager responded, "we each take our turn being here with the tree. We could never own it. We are here as protectors, as sustainers." "That's ridiculous. This tree doesn't need you. You could just take what you need. Take what you want. The tree will continue." But the villager couldn't be persuaded. "Friend, this tree isn't like that. We don't come here to take from it, even though we receive so much. We are keepers of the tree because this is where we are nourished. This is where some of our most precious memories are, where our people have dreamed. This is where we remember who we want to become." "Well," said the merchant, "you may think this tree is very special, but it still doesn't need you to sit with it. That is preposterous." Replied the villager. "Well, the tree itself may not need me, but what of the others who come by? Just this morning, actually, I sat here with a woman whose heart was heavy with worry. Had I not been here, she would have had to carry the weight of all that worry all alone. And this afternoon, a tired couple came by, and they rested with me under the tree. They said they'd been looking for a place like this. And then an elder came by, and we watched the birds in the branches together. And now you are here. And you were confused about what this tree is and how to be with it. Imagine if you had arrived and not found anyone here to talk to. You might have continued to think everything you do is all about you. Luckily for you, my friend, I'm here to let you know that when you care for the tree of life, it becomes about so much more than just you." Well, the merchant sat for a while. He sat in the shade thinking about these ideas that felt new and a little challenging. As the sun went down, he picked up his bag and headed out of town, whistling a song that he hadn't thought of in years. On his way, he shared a smile with each person he met, his heart feeling strangely light and joyful. And the people of the village? Well, they continued to sustain the tree of life and to care for one another with gifts and with grace and with gratitude. May it be so for each of us. Friends, no one owns the tree of life. We belong to it. The tree of life gives to us. It holds our memories and our stories and our songs. The tree is the meeting place where those with broken hearts and happy hearts meet to share each other's burdens and hold each other's joys. The tree may not need us, but we need it for our own hearts and so that we might build community for all who come to seek this tree. Friends, sometimes at church the metaphors are complex and ambiguous, and sometimes they are clear and straightforward. Our congregation is our tree of life, and we are its keepers. We are the keepers of this congregation. We do not own it, but we give it our love, our resources, and our attention. We are keepers of the congregation because we are nourished by it. We're keepers of the congregation because our most precious memories are here. We're keepers of the congregation because to care for this congregation allows it to be here for us and for generations who come after us to be nourished the way we have been. None of us can care for this congregation alone, but together we can. Together we can. Together we can. Friends, help me fill in the blanks. Together, what can we do? Together we can. Love. Together we can. Grow, serve. Together we can. Laugh, share, trust. Rest. Together we can. Understand. Comfort. Feed. Together we can. Celebrate. Together we can celebrate. In community, together we can share moments of transforming worship. Together we can share meals that bind us into a faith family. Together we can pool our resources to help our neighbors and our larger community move just a little closer to how we envision the world to be. Together we can laugh and cry, sing and dance, worship and protest, learn and love and rest and celebrate. Together we can. Together we can do so much. We can build a community that widens the circle of love so that all people fall within it. We can teach our children interesting and important things and learn from them even more interesting and even more important things. Stewardship at its most basic level is the understanding that we are keepers of the communities we love. You and I are keepers of this community, this congregation, our tree of life, thirsty for the waters of love that only we can pour into it. We do not own it. We cannot know every facet of it. We cannot change its history and must constantly reimagine its future. We cannot do it alone. But we are drawn to it, and we are responsible for it, and we are claimed by it, and we are blessedly, gratefully alive within it. Today we remember that once a year we ask each other to pledge to the future of our church. We ask for a financial commitment, one perhaps increased right along with the increase of inflation. And deeper still, we ask for your heart commitment, for you to commit to stewarding and supporting this sacred place, because only together we can. I hope you are inspired to care for this community, our tree of life, with generosity and faithfulness. Let's close simply with these words from Michael Schuler. If you are proud of this church, become its advocate. If you are concerned about its future, share its message. If its values resonate deep in your soul, give it a measure of your devotion. This church cannot survive without our faith, our confidence, our enthusiasm. Its destiny rests in all of our hands. Together we can do so much more. Let's begin. And now we will sing our closing hymn. It's number 1015, I Know I Can Go On. No matter what we face in our lives or in our community, together we can go on. In that spirit, please rise in body or in spirit to sing number 1015 in the Teal hymnal.
Now take a moment to extinguish our chalice with these words adapted from Dawn Cooley. We extinguish our chalice this morning, grateful for the love that we have experienced in this beloved community. May the memory of this flame and the burning of all future flames light the way for all who seek such abundance.
Friends, our worship service now comes to a close. I will be at the back of the sanctuary for just a few minutes to greet you, but really, you're going to want to go ahead and go this way into Fellowship Hall for our Pledge Drive kickoff potluck. That's going to be so much fun. Everyone in this room is welcome and invited. There's always enough to share. We leave this sacred time now with these parting words. In this community, we can give and we can receive. We can love each other well. We can strive to be grateful and generous. We can know that what we have is what we share. We can be the congregation of our dreams. May we go forth now to share our love abundantly. Blessed be, and let's go out singing our rite of community, Be Thou With Us.